Hello student. Today we are going to start with the microbiology topic, that is pure culture. In this video lecture, we'll try to understand, that is what is pure culture and what are the different methods are required to isolate them. As well as we'll be studying about what are the different terms that are used to define pure culture more accurately. Right? So let's start. Pure culture, the name itself indicate that there is oneness, right? So here we are dealing with the microbiology. So where do we require the oneness? That is in terms of microbial population. So that microbial population will be comprising all the cell of same type. So here you can see the many different cells, right? But all these cells are of same type. You can see the purple color cells with the circular shape, right? So what is pure culture? It is a pure culture which has been derived or originated from the single type of a cell or a cell organism. So that is pure culture. We don't have any other contaminant within that particular microbial population. Fine. So that is your pure culture, right? So we'll try to understand pure culture with the help of these two terms, that is strains and clone. And also we'll try to differentiate between these two terms so that we can memorize what is strain. We can understand what is strain and what is clone. So let's start with the trying to let's start with the content, that is images that shows us different bacterial culture. Here you can see different type of bacteria, right? In this image, on the basis of gram staining we have already studied, we can differentiate the cell population on the basis of the stain they uptake. Here you can see it has uptake a pink color and it has uptake our crystal violet. So on that basis I have differentiate. So this is one strain and this is another strain. So it is a mixed population. It is not a pure form. For gaining a pure form, we need to perform certain technique that we will be dealing later. Then this is a compound microscope image. Here also one more image you can see. You have a single bacteria with multiple flagella, right? So again this will form a one more different strain. Here electron microscope view, where again you can see a different cell population, a circular shape, a bacilli shape, a spiral shape. Fine. So these are the different. Here more clear image where again you can see the rod shape, you can see circular, this coiled or a spiral form. So these are the different strain population. Got it? On the basis of their morphology, that is cell type, we can see the different cell shape. We can distinguish that these are the different cell type. It is a mixed culture. We cannot call it as a strain, but you can understand that different strains are present within a population here. Now strains, as we have studied here, that are together here, let's see that there are of different structure and types. So you have a circular structure, rod structure, curved pattern and other different shapes. So here the shape is circular. When they are they are in pairs and together, pair and together. So it will be called Diplococcus. If they are in a chains, the Strepto, Cluster, Staphylo. And if they are in a combined form as circular as well as rod shape, so slightly it will have a definitely a oval shape. So it will be called as Coco bacilli, Coco bacilli, streptobacilli, a chain of bacilli. Okay, you have a rod shape which is called as bacilli. So streptobacilli, mycobacteria, cluster of rod shaped structure. Curved form, all are curved form. You can see a slight curve, rather rod and circular, it is curved form. Here you can see a coiled form. Curved are always vibrio. Spiral, this is called spirilla. that is in a coil form. Then you have a spiral structure that is called spirochetes, right? Other structure we do have, it is a helical structure. You can see a helix structure. So it is helical, it will be helicobacter. You have a club structure, it will called as a corynebacteria. And as you, when you have a filament structure, it is being seen in streptomyces, right? So these are the different strain. This will form a different strain, this will form a different strain. So likewise we do have a different strains of a cells, right? Let's try to understand clone. Clone is what, uh, just first listen what I'm talking, then we'll talk about this image. Clones are what? They are the strain, that is all the cells among the population are all are of same cell type, but along with the same cell type, in terms of their structure, their morphology, they are same. Along with that, one more similarity they do possess, that is in terms of their genetic constituent. So clones are basically exact copy, right, of each other. With their parent, they have exact genetic constituent. There is no mutation, no change in a genetic constituent. So strains are basically, they will, they may vary in the terms of genetic constituent, but clones will be exact copy. So this is artificial preparation of a clones, where you have a bacterial plasmid content which has been inserted with the one more gene, and it is being inserted into a bacterial cell, which allowed to duplicate, replicate, and give rise to many more bacterial cell with same genetic constituent. So this is artificial way of performing a cloning. So this is called as clone. So what do you understand by the term that is strains and clone? Strain will be a same population of same cell type. It will be a population of those cells which will be having a same genetic constituent, right, along with the cell structure shape. Next, you do have a cell structure or a population. Here I can see this is a different strain and this is a different strain. The way they vary in their cell shape, on the basis of morphology we can differentiate. Another way to differentiate them is their colony type. See, this is what we can see under a microscope, but we should be able to do it with the help of a naked eye judgment, right? So that can be done with the help of colony characteristic. This is what we can do is fine. So here what we can do is, where we can characterize our colony shape. Here this is numbering is being done. You can see number 1 and number 2. This is not the number of colonies formed, this is how many same type of colonies are there. So here you can see 3 number colonies are more in number compared to the 4, right? Then how I can differentiate? This is a visual characteristic differentiation. Here I can see the concentric circles are there in number colony 3, right? But there is no such pattern observed in a fourth numbered colony. So here is entire margin, here concentric margin, sixth one is having serrated margin, here some fusiforms is there. So likewise I can identify that this will have a single cell type and this will have a single type cell type, but this both will vary in their cell constituent cell type, right? So for this purpose I need to go for a isolation to have a pure culture in my hand, fine. There is one more characteristic structure. You can see this shiny appearance, and it is completely smooth, a ball like appearance, no reflection at all. So both will have a different cell constituent within them. So this is on the basis of colony characteristic I can differentiate it, right? Next, in our environment what we can see is there is a microbial population which is present in a mixed form. It is not in an isolated form. For a study purpose, why what we need to do is we need to isolate them. We cannot identify that this organism is possessing this characteristic until I isolate them and study them separately. So for that, what I need to do, I need to go for the certain techniques which will help me to isolate those colony. Once you can see that the colonies here are together and they have got isolated here, so this colony I can pick and put it into another medium to gain a microbial population of same cell type, so that strain will be in my hand. Understood? So let's talk about how I can do it. To isolate our pure culture, I need to follow one of this technique which will help me to gain a single cell population or single cell type within that population. Fine. So first we'll talk about strict plate method. In strict plate method, what else you need to have? You need to have a nichrome loop, a burner, and a nutrient agar medium within a petri dish. Right? These three things are most required. And at last, of course, we require a bacterial culture, mixed bacterial culture of different population. So how I can do that? With the help of this loop. You can see this loop over here. This loop will help us to separate the population. How I can do that? By reducing the microbial load. So from this test tube, I'll remove the loop full of culture, mixed culture, right? Before doing that, I need to make it out with the help of aseptic technique. So aseptic technique to be performed, I need to flame this loop till red hot, allow it to cool, and then I will insert it into a test tube to remove loop full of culture so that I can perform a streaking. I'll let you know why we need to use a burner in our next slide. So first let's check out how I can do it. I'll be streaking it in a particular pattern. You can see the pattern is like that, right? Then again I'll remove my loop and I'll start streaking from this side, right? So here you can see the streaking has happened. Again I'll start from this side. So this way, this way, this way, again in this way. At last I'll be streaking into the middle part. So this as I have completed, at last I have streaked into the middle part. So what this streaking has given me, as I have keep reducing the microbial load. Finally, after incubation, what I have gained is isolated colony, which I was interested in. Fine. So here you can see the population was very much around, where I cannot characterize the single colony characteristic or a cell type, right? But after reducing the load, I have one single cell type in my hand. Right? This is what the expected result of your streak plate method, in which you will perform a streaking with the help of loop. Now let's see why we need to have a burner. See, as I said, I'm interested in a single colony. So to have a single colony, I don't want to add any other contaminant by any chance from any of the site. So for that purpose, we need to have a burners to perform our practical. This burner will give out a flame. That flame will maintain a aseptic area around the mark part. You can see the yellow portion. That will help us to perform a practical. How it will do that? You can see here there is a air current. You can see the convection air movement here. This convection air movement won't allow any other bacteria to enter or any other microbial population to enter within this area. So I can perform by keeping plate over here. This tricking can be done, right? So approximately 40 centimeter diameter area around is very much aseptic, right? Understood why why do we require burners? Fine. So here is the expected result. Here what you can see is you have a microbial population much more here. You try to keep reduce it. After reducing the load, you can see the colony size has increased. Once there is a reduction in a cell population, colony size has increased, and that increased colony size has given you the exact characteristic that you are required for your study purpose or your research purpose. Fine. So here you can see the when it is present within a population, major population, a dense population, there is cell colony shape a structure is very small, but here is very large. So this is what I can isolate further to characterize it. Fine. So this is how I can perform a streak plate method. Now let's start with the pour plate method. Again, we are intending to gain a isolated colony at last. So here we involve one more method along with the pour plate. We need to start with the preparation part for your mixed culture, right? So how I can perform that mixed culture or a culture broth? I need to have a set of different test tube, which will be having a same volume around, right? Here in this pour plate method, I'll be using a broth culture, right? In that broth culture, I'll try to serially dilute the concentration of my microbial load, right? So how I used to do in a streak plate method, by using a loop I used to decrease the load. Here directly in a test tube itself I'll try to decrease the load. So what I'll be doing, I'll be performing serial dilution first and then I'll go for the pouring, right? So I'll add a bacterial culture 1 ml into my 9 ml, it will be total 10 ml. So what will be the exact constituent or concentration? This will be the higher concentration with the least dilution. Here will be the highest dilution with less concentration. What is exactly we required? So we'll go for pouring. So in this, what we are going to do is we are going to perform with the help of melted agar. So what you have done, you have your culture broth ready of each one of the dilutions, right? This is 1 raised to 10, 1 is to 10, this is 1 is to 100, different dilution sets we have. And then what we will be doing, we will remove certain amount of the culture out of it and we'll add it into that mixed culture into our melted agar. This agar is having a temperature around 45 degrees Celsius to maintain it into a melted form, right? Because agar usually gets solidified after it has get temperature reduced. Fine. So at lower temperature it will be in a agar form, that is solidifiable. So what we'll be doing here, after this culture has added, we will be pouring it into the empty petri dish and we'll swirl it around, right? This swirling will distribute our colonies or cell which are present in this broth culture, right? And shaking also mandatory before swirling it. So shake it well so that the distribution or dispersion of your cell will happen, right? So after that directly you have to pour here and you will gain a petri plate with the cell colony after incubation, right? Here you can see that the colonies which are going to form, that will be, some will be the embedded form and some will be the at the surface. Why they will be at the embedded form? Because you have directly input into the culture itself a suspension media that has allowed the entry of your cells where all they can get the chance to enter into, right? This is the actual image how we can perform a pour plating in front of a burner. This is a burner and we are trying to pour the culture from a bottle into the petri plate. Fine. So here is the results of pour plate method after incubation. You can see the higher concentration at the least dilution, right? And here is the at highest dilution you can see the least concentration. So population count has reduced. You can see the microbial count, colony count has reduced. So this is what we are expecting to get the reduced form so that we can characterize the colony character. So this is how it will help. But what we can see is we have taken a melted agar, right? To maintain it in a melted form, as I have mentioned before, that I'll be um, taking a 45 degree Celsius agar medium, right? So in this, I'll call it as a one of the disadvantage of a pour plate method, because the colonies which cannot tolerate 45 degrees Celsius, they won't be able to separate or isolate with the help of pour plate method. This is the one of the disadvantage. And the other one is, as you can see, we are pouring the content that is mixed within agar melted. So some of the colonies are being embedded form and some of it the surface. So those who have got embedded within a agar media, we cannot characterize them very properly, we cannot study them. So these are the two different disadvantage. So to overcome that, we do have a different technique that is called spread plate technique. In this same way we did in a pour plate method, we will be performing a serial dilution. In this serial dilution, we'll be using saline rather than broth, that nutrient broth we have used in a pour plate method. This is a difference between pour and spread. Here we are going to use a saline, and in which saline we'll be adding a microbial cell suspension. The way we have diluted, the highest dilution will be less concentration. So serially diluted again will be utilizing a culture of this saline suspension, and will be adding into a nutrient broth, and that nutrient broth culture will be shaked and used, and I'll be allowing only zero point 0.1 ml of the content over a nutrient agar medium. Fine. So I have picked up a drop with the help of pipette, and allowed to drop it over a agar medium. This is a petri plate with agar medium, and then with the help of spreader, as it is a spread plate method, with the help of spreader is a rod, which is glass rod, which is in a bent shape, right? So if I bent my glass rod, it will act as a spreader, and then I'll be spreading my content throughout my plate to have a isolated colonies. Here after incubation, what I can see is fine. So you'll be spreading evenly the broth, that one drop that you have added, around 0.1 ml that you have poured over it, that will be spread around to gain a isolated colonies. Fine. So this will be the expected result. The highest concentration is present in a least dilution, and at last you have received the isolated colony at the least dilution. Understood? Fine. So let compare both the technique. In this your pour, you are using culture broth, here you are using for dilution purpose, here you are using a saline suspension, right? Culture broth will be added into the medium, directly in a melted medium, and poured. Here spreading is done with the help of rod. Here spreading will be allowed with the help of swirling to mix it. Here I'll be evenly spreading over the surface. Now after incubation, you can see below, here agar medium is there, below embedded cells are there, colonies are there, and at the surface also you have a colony. Here at the surface only you will have a colony, no embedded colony, only surface. So this is a two different method that is used to isolate your cell culture. The last technique is micro manipulator technique, in which you do have a one instrument in which you have a microscope attached with the manipulator. Fine. So here I have focused the content. What is here? Focus the part. You can see lens is focused over a petri plate where you have a cell count, and one needle jockey key is attached. This will help to sort the cells present in it, and you will be trying to pick up only the colony, sorry, not colony, only the cell that you are interested in. Here we are observing the cells with the help of a objective lens of our microscope, right? So here the microscopic view is there, where I can very clearly see that different cell population is there. So I'll be I'll be trying to pick up only the one in which I am interested to. So this black rod shape I have removed with the help of needle that I have inserted here. Yes. And once I have removed it, I can use it as a for a isolation purpose, further colony growth. Yes. So this is micro manipulator technique which help us again for isolation of the technique. So these are the different technique that we have studied. First it's streak, then spore, then spread, then at last micro manipulator technique to isolate our culture medium to gain a pure culture form. Okay, fine. Thank you.